Good evening, good evening. Welcome to I suppose it's the 1927 club, but isn't it? I suppose. I know it's a bit early. It's not Saturday, but obviously we're here to review the game. So, yes, it's myself and Mr. Rhys David Evans. Good evening, sir. Happy New Year. How are we?
Happy New Year yourself. Happy to be top of the league. Cold. Disappointing to have a draw, Sol.
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing especially we controlled so much of the game. Wycombe were poor. I thought, in my opinion, didn't really offer that much. Yeah, it's a difficult one to take, really, I suppose. And I suppose even at, when it was still 1-1, they still had moments where, you're holding your breath towards the end because we weren't clinical enough with the opportunities that we had, and we had plenty of opportunities throughout the game to kind of pull away. But yeah, disappointing really, especially when you see the results kind of have gone our way really today. So that there was scope there today for us to pull further away really.
Yeah, like I say, I thought Wycombe were really poor. If they played like that all season, I can't see them coming close to the playoffs. They were a shadow of themselves from a few years ago. Apart from us 5-minute spell they had after they scored that equaliser, they offered nothing all game. And I know a point on the road is always a good point, but when you see how many chances we had today, not to win it, I was just disappointed. But again, it's another point on the road. You win your home games, you do what you can away from home, and that's how you go up. As it stands, we're still top of the league, still in our hands, still in control of it. I think we played some good football, and just very unlucky today. I think we've had it in games where the ball just bounces just right for us, and we get a goal. Today just bounced strong for us. I mean, it just went an inch one way, and we didn't go in like.
Yeah, I suppose we've had the rub of the green a few times so far this season, and like you said, we're not always going to have it. But nevertheless, it's still, like you said, a point on the road. If we can keep our home form going the way we have, obviously we got Wigan on Sunday, another quick turnaround in game. So I think it's vitally important that we go back to Cardiff City Stadium on Saturday and make sure that fortress is still standing come 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon. But right, we'll dive straight in. Any surprises in the lineup today, Bet, for you? Obviously, you made a few changes. I haven't heard any injury news. Obviously, there was quite a few changes today. Do you think that was just fresh legs?
I think he did the same to Bagan as he did to Key the other day when he said there's so many games in quick succession, they need a full rest. And to be fair, I think Bagan, if anyone deserves a rest, it's him. So I'm glad he got rested. Surprised to see Osho lineup. Again, it's a transfer that's not really worked out so far. He's come in and he's made a couple of big errors in league games. He played in the cup game against Wimbledon. He sort of struggled to impose himself in that game. Then went off injured. So you're thinking maybe if he does play, it's going to be 20 minutes here or there, just get his fitness up. So surprised to see him come on to start. I thought he did really well for 60 minutes, mind. I thought, you could see it was a decent signing. Like if he could continue to play that gap for 60 minutes for the rest, his game time. Other than that, I wasn't really surprised anyone else. Like Kellerman, he's good. Don't get me wrong, he's fantastic on the wing. But in the 10, we've seen it. He is outstanding.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe today would be a better on the wing and put in Joel in the 8 maybe. But again, Kellerman's that good where he can play anywhere across the front line. But for me, I think he's a 10. And I think he wins a game in the 10.
Yeah, I agree with it. What was the last home game we had? My memory's shocking. But he controlled the game, but didn't he, in fairness?
Is it? No, it wasn't Exeter. It was Exeter. He played in the 10 against them, I think it was. Yeah. And he ran the game. Like he couldn't get the ball off him. And I just thought, I think you see the performances like that, do you think keep him in the 10? But then they understand because he got a rest the likes of Isaac Davis. I mean, Willock, I thought Willock was outstanding today. I keep saying he looks better in a 10, but today I thought he was brilliant out wide. I thought he beat his man a few times. He tried putting balls in the box. He tried beating his man a few times. He scored a goal. And lucky not to get another one later on as well, and an assist. I thought Willock was outstanding today. I thought he offered a lot more than I think in other games. Get off to a man who will it's not clinical enough.
Yeah. Talking about, putting the ball in the box, I think I said to you just before we come live, I seen a stat come up on the TV after or during half time, I think it was. And the first half, I think we had 14 opportunities to cross the ball and we were successful with 2 crosses. I think after I'm not sure if it was the Stevenage game or it might have been the Exeter game, that he told them to cross the ball more, and they done it more in the second half. I just don't get it. You would think they would have learned from previous games, or I don't know. It's bonkers, isn't it?
Well, it's funny because we've been saying on the show for so long now to put the ball in the box a lot more. And me and the boys were talking for Stevenage game. Their defensive line looks massive. So I was saying at the time, if you're going to put the ball in the box, drill the ball in. Look for a deflection, look to get a Tony end of it. Don't float them in because they'll chuck 2 men on Salek and they'll just bully him in the box, they will. And in Stevenage, we floated cross after cross after cross in. Can't get near it, so just drill the ball in. Today, I just thought we looked a lot better with the ball, with feet. Again, it's one of those where we could have won 4 or 5-0 today. Unfortunately, they just won against us, I think it did. And again,
I think somebody says in the chat, I think that opportunity Joel Caldwell has, if that goes in, we probably do go on and win the game 3 or 4-0. But, 5-10 minutes later, they kind of go up the other end, have a corner. Shocking from Capaccio, if I'm being completely honest, and that's pulling it mildly. And the ball goes straight in the back of the net. And like you said, they had a bit of a foothold on the game then, didn't they, for 5-10 minutes after that. And, we struggled to get back into it, really. I think we started to get back into it about 5 minutes before half-time, I think. But, yeah, disappointing to concede and disappointed the way we reacted after going 1-0 up, I think. It was disappointing now we're not putting teams to the sword once we've got that goal up and we got our tails up type of thing. We allow teams to kind of claw back, but it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is.
Again, to be fair, mind, it's one of those where you look how many points we picked up over December. Normally we have a shock in December. And you just think it was going to come a game where it wasn't going to go for us. And to be fair, we avoided defeat in that game, and that was today. Now we get to Sunday now. We kick on Sunday, take 3 points, get good home performance, and then, it's back to Saturday games then it is. So a bit more rest
like
in games.
We said before coming on the live, nobody in the top 8 won today. So, we haven't lost any ground on anybody. So, to pick up a point away from home, given how difficult the circumstances are with games coming left, right and centre through the festive period, today might be the point that we need come the end of the season. You just don't know, deal. So, let's focus on the positives. There's a point away from home. I don't think anybody come off injured or anything today, did they?
No. The only sub really was Robertson early on. That was because he was on yellow. And he went in for a few tasty challenges. I think the 4th official spoke to BBM, didn't he, and said about... I think that was gutted. I think we did lose a bit of momentum at that point then.
What's your opinion on that then? Should, if I was the manager of Wycombe then, I'd be fuming, I would, if the 4th official had gone over and said, have a word with you. Should they be doing that, do you think? Or, is that good practice? They should be doing that.
I just think I don't see anything wrong with it, to be fair. It's happened against us. It forces us into an early change. So if the opposition manager is probably not bothered because he's thinking, they've planned this all week now, how to go against us. And in 20 minutes, they've had to make a sub of it. So their plan will change completely now. So I don't think they're going to be too annoyed. It's probably one of those where if he's going rational, he could seriously injure someone. So it might be a case of protecting other players on the pitch as well. So, I thought the ref might say for both sides was poor. I don't know. If I was a Wycombe fan, I'd be coming away screaming, "How did we get a penalty today?" On our hand, I was asking, why is he giving so many yellow cards every few minutes? Salek getting a yellow card, absolutely wild. I thought we were a bit lucky as well with the corner when they scored from. He spoke to Perry and they play, I think, twice. Perry goes up to him, pushes him, then gets called back over again. You're thinking, what are you doing? The ref sees that now. He's going to give a penalty. There's no need for it. So I just thought, I think overall today, the referee was poor for both sides today.
Yeah, no, I agree. And but it's getting something we talk about week in, week out now, and unfortunately, the standard of officials in League One is disappointing, and you just want consistency, Rich, don't you? I think how do we get it at League One?
Well, for the referees, or
for referees,
my opinion is the same when it comes to refereeing. Is they have a league system today where they got these refs who ref the Premier League. If you have a bad game, we'll demote them to the Championship and they can deal with them for a week. I don't think it should be that. I think all the referees, once they're professional, the names go into a hat and they randomly get selected for games. That way, some of the ones that are refereeing League 2 now will get exposure and experience in the top league and it'll make them better. And League 2 might get a referee who's done a Premier League game the week before. So then the officiating should get better than that standard. And I think that's the only way you go about it. Having a league table of referees, I think, is just ridiculous. Because again, if I'm a ref, I have a bad game on in the Championship next week. What's that say at the Championship? You can have our mistakes next week, you can. I think that's disrespectful. And again, this so inconsistent performances from referees is the standard in the UK is dropping. I'm not sure what's like in Europe, but over here is so poor. I mean, I keep seeing on the news all the time Scottish teams complaining about decisions and VAR decisions up in Scotland, and teams get apologised to. And up there, it looks like it's a problem as well. I mean, standard refereeing, and it seems to have gotten worse since VAR's come in, because I think VAR's allowed some referees to. If I make a mistake, it's fine. They'll cover for me now, so I haven't got to be 100% focused. But yeah, I just think in League One it's so poor. It's so poor.
Yeah. Right, let's jump into before we start talking about players, we'll go through the lineup and talk about performances and stuff. I know we've talked about a few already. But before we do that and we lose complete control of the chat, let's say hello to a few people. Happy New Year to everybody tuning in. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. There's quite a few comments in there already, so we'll filter our way down through them. Mark Ganesh is in the chat. Good evening. My problem with our display was shown when Tanner came on and was trying to cross. Why isn't Willock doing the same? Tanner made us look more dangerous. It's got to be tactical, mate. I mean, it's got to be something BBM is saying. He doesn't want that ball put in. I don't think he doesn't want to lose the ball, does he? So if we are crossing the ball in, there's an opportunity for them to clear.
I don't want that comment. I thought Willock was a brilliant today. My man, the match for Willock was today. I thought he looked to beat his man quite often. And I understand, he's right-footed, he's playing on the left, and it's hard to try and put a ball in with the left foot. I thought Tanner looked off it, if I'm honest with you. I think he didn't look at the races. I think it's not only natural because he's come back from such a long injury, which is why I'm surprised he's on the bench and not getting minutes in the under-23s just to get some minutes on the grass. I think, was it, when did we play last? Was it Monday, was it? I think he was, some of the crosses on Monday as well, one or two of them were kind of scuffed it, didn't get the right connection on the ball, offside. Then, he started his run, he stops. I think he looked a bit out of it. I thought he should have kept Willock on, if I'm honest with you. I think, and Kellerman coming off, it kind of changed momentum a bit for us. I can see why Robinson was coming on, for Joel. I thought Joel offered a lot of energy, but I just think you're looking for that intelligence that Robinson brings. So I thought maybe he'd come on, but keep the two wide players on. I don't know. I don't think Willock did anything wrong. So I thought he was brilliant and unlucky to come off when he did, I think. And I've been critical of Willock last season. So it's not as if I'm just trying to defend the player for no reason. Like I said, I thought he was really good today.
Paul, good evening, my friend. Evening, lads in chat. Happy New Year. Thought we wasted 2 points today. By far the better side. We have to find a way when we're on top to take our chances. Some gilt-edged chances too, but we go again. That we do, my friend. That we do. And like we said at the beginning, it's a fast turnaround. Wigan home on Sunday. So hopefully they can put it right. Wycombe away, what an experience. No local pubs and drinking pints in a pop-up tent outside the ground. Again, sold out away end, absolutely superb. So well done to everybody who travelled. Like I said, I think the capacity of the ground I looked at earlier was 7,300 and something. So we took, I think it was a couple short of 1,800. So yes, outstanding support. And watching the game on the TV, Cardiff were in full song. So yeah, full respect to everybody who does travel. And hope everybody got home safe and sound.
Yeah, great travel, great support, and great noise as well.
Graham says, I'm not even going to pronounce that name, but you can try if you want to.
Onyedima.
Yeah, I think he was their most dangerous player when he held the ball up well. But I thought our defence coped well with him most of the game, to be honest.
He was smart.
He was just looking for free kicks all the time, wasn't he? In fairness,
the dark arts he had, he was holding Lawler and throws himself to the floor to win a free kick. Which again, you want when you're up against a team that's got a dominant possession, you are looking at ways to score, and it's got to be through set pieces. So I can see why they were doing it. We did it last year in the Championship against teams when we were struggling. He was smart. I wouldn't say he's a Championship player from what I've seen today. League One's probably thereabouts, so I wouldn't say, most times we play a team and someone stands up and we go, we should sign him, but I would not recommend that. But I thought he was probably the best player today, he was.
Yeah. Marcus says, do you think we go for another striker in January now, even possibly alone? Have you heard any more about this Biancheri?
Nothing about him now. It's probably, again, it's only the first today now, so probably discussions will be ongoing. I know we are classed as international for transfers and loans, so it takes us longer to get deals over the line than it would for an English club to loan an English player from another English club. So it's going to take a little bit longer for us. I have full trust in BBM. He's telling the club exactly who he wants, what he needs. And I have full support. I have full belief that they will back his decisions over the committee that has been signing players before him.
Yeah. JT says, if Joel scores, we win that game 4-0. Should have won the game anyway, but we gained another point lead over Bradford, who were obviously in third. Surprising result. They lost away at Mansfield today, 3-0. So well done, Mansfield. Done us a favour today. Howell, good to see you back on the road with Auntie Mags today, buddy. Hope you're both feeling better. I know you've been rough over Christmas, but nice to see you both back following the Bluebirds away today. And he says, evening, gents. Happy New Year. A point is a point, but would certainly be looking at getting a striker in.
It's one of those. Salik has a great chance to the header, and I think he sends it wide, and he Robo, ball just falls unkindly for him. Like Turnbull can't get his feet under control. Joel hits the bar. I mean, we see these in football. The ball bounces right for us. We score 4-5-3. Again, we can play Wigan on Sunday now, win 5-0, and we'll be saying we don't need a striker. I just think today was one of those games that kind of got away from us with chances, that's all, I think. And I just think the belief was we'll have another chance coming now. Another chance will come. I just think it was that. And again, it's one of those games where it's unlucky, that's all.
Osho's weird. He can tackle, but his after-tackle reactions are slow, says Markinesh. Interesting one here from Graham. Joel had his head in his hands after he came off. Hope that miss doesn't affect him. It was one of them things. I kind of like that in a player. He's coming off and he's showing his disappointment. I suppose, Brian Barry Murphy and his backroom staff now will earn their money by, getting him back up and, picking his head back up. But I like seeing players coming off the field disappointed. Obviously, he would have liked to, bury that ball in the back of the net. But, he'll learn from it, and he didn't have to blast it as hard as he did, perhaps. And he'll come back stronger for it, I would like to think. He's a decent player. I rate him very highly. I think you mentioned right at the beginning that his energy there today was first class. And, he's another great product of our academy, mate, isn't he?
Yeah, the energy is the biggest thing for me because, again, how many games have come thick and fast, and a lot of teams we're playing against haven't got a big squad, so they are running on empty, most of them. And when you look at the lineup now, when you see against Joel, who will run 90 minutes, who is full of energy, you're going to be thinking, another one today, like. So full confidence in him. And again, he's probably come off thinking, I didn't have the impact I would like to have had personally, rather than a case of, that would be downhearted. Again, they all miss chances, so it's not just on him. Come back, get yourself in training, go again, and on Sunday we kick on. And next time you get a chance, you just take a chance and just keep going. Don't forget, it's his first season in the senior squad with Cardiff. Last year he was at the loan. So, it's a big jump going from under-23s to League 2 to League 1 to the League 1 again now. So it is a big jump for him, and there's a lot of pressure being put on his shoulders because of his name as well. So, all credit to him. He doesn't show it, but he's performing brilliantly for me, I think.
Yeah. Howell says, credit to Lola and Wintle. Both were superb. We may lose Lola this transfer window. I'd be gutted if we did, but, if a side like it's been touted, rumours Bayern Munich are coming in for him, then, there's no way we're going to turn that down. I'd be gutted to lose him, but I would like to have him for another year, I think.
I'd be devastated to lose him. I think, he's by far our best centre-half. Again, you look at him and he's just calm under pressure, ball-carrying centre-half. That's what the big money is. We spent £3.5 million on Darland as a ball-carrying centre-half. Lawler was in the academy all along. He reads the game well. Today now, I think Wintle tracks a runner back. Basically puts him in a trap. He takes him one way. When Lawler's going to come across, take the ball, clean lines. He's reading the game. Is so outstanding. If we lose him, I wouldn't worry. But I know I would be nervous more in going to games and stuff. I think we got a solid player in Fish. I think Chambers has shown himself to be his redemption season after last year. I think this year he looks a lot better. Like today when he's coming on as a sub, I thought, last year I would be going on again. Please no. Today I felt comfortable and confident Chambers was coming on. I thought, he'd probably have a big impact for us. I'm lucky not to score. So I was landed to see him come on.
Yeah, what a great opportunity to just curl the wrong side of the post, didn't it?
So, I have full... I think if he does go, I think we bring someone else in. But again, we get to lose a talent like that.
Yeah. Mark Anish seems to think he thought Wintle and Turnbull were very poor today. I thought Wintle was outstanding, in my opinion. Thought he controlled the game in the middle very well. Obviously, we're all entitled to our opinions. But Mark Anish says he thought Wintle and Turnbull were poor. What's your thoughts on that one, buddy?
I thought Wintle always used Steve McPhail this year. I don't remember Steve McPhail and some of the people in the chat, but he used to drop deep, pick the ball up off the defence, and be like a deep line playmaker, and he would just spray balls around the place. The only difference is I think he's a bit more mobile and does a bit more defensive work. I thought Wintle matured this season so far. I think today was another solid performance from him. Turnbull, unlucky not to score. I'm not torn on Turnbull. I just think Robertson offers a bit more. I was gutted he had to come off, but Turnbull didn't put a foot wrong for me today. So I can't say he was poor. I thought all of them to a man were brilliant today. So just it's one of those games we just unlucky not to win, get that second goal and really kill him off.
Yeah. Half-time oranges. Kellyman very skillful again today. Hope with Maresca getting the sack. The new gaffer doesn't recall Loney's to take a look.
Well, we were talking this earlier, we?
Yeah.
BBM and Maresca are good friends from the Leicester days. So the hope was Maresca would go, look, you keep him. He's doing well for you. But now, the worry is now they do to us what we did to Joel last year. Take him away from Cheltenham when he was turning up and send him to a team in higher division. And that's the worry now.
Yeah. Willock needs to actually cross and not cut inside.
To be fair, I thought he had his full back on toast today. He was, he'd go left, he'd go right. To be fair, I thought Willock, again, I'd been critical of Willock as well last year and sometimes this season, but today I thought he was my man of the match today. I thought he was brilliant and lucky not to come off. And unlucky to come off, sorry.
Half-time Orange says, I think it's difficult away day for most teams as almost everyone was awake way past midnight. Wycombe used the ref well and he was their 12th man today. A point is overall not bad considering.
Yeah,
Graham said, Mansfield gone from bottom half before Christmas to 8th. doesn't take a lot to say start putting a run together and you kind of jump up the league, but we got nowhere to jump really. But we just got to stay where we are, aren't we?
Well, I think I said a stat the other day. It was crazy. I think from the relegation zone up to like 8th or 9th or maybe 10th, it was like 3 points difference or 6 points difference. It shows how wild this league is.
Yeah. Mackinnish, full up with the cold, I think. Lorna Evans, the reffing has been questionable for years, to be honest.
I just thought again today, for both sides will come away from that today, saying the ref is poor, I think.
Good double header on Saturday, SPL Old Firm Derby and Dundee Derby. Not my cup of tea, but each to their own. Howell says, agree, the ref today was absolutely dog shite. Well, politely, that is, Howell. Fair play. Graham, I thought you were supposed to swap shirts after the game. Defenders try every week to get Salek's shirt. Yeah, he's getting pulled from pillar to post in here at the moment.
I don't understand what his yellow card is for either as well. Like today now, he wins the ball back. All right, I can see why they give a foul, but then to give him a card for it was absolutely wild. And again, defenders ripping his shirt, pulling him, holding him back. Referee see nothing wrong. But every single time he challenges for the ball, our defender goes down, the referee's got his whistle in his mouth. Like that. I don't understand what a free kick is anymore for a striker. Because he is getting pulled all over the place. It's wild. I don't know what a free kick is now because, again, back in my day, if you pull a player's shirt like that, it's a yellow card. It's, what's the word? It's a cynical foul. But now it just seems to be part and parcel. You can't actually tackle anyone. So you do tackle them, that is a foul.
Yeah. Reese's mum says it needs a total overhauling of the reffing. Sort them out, Lorna. Evan James, good evening, sir. Happy New Year, buddy. He says, good evening. I think my long essay comment was lost in the portrait version video. Not sure what that means, Ev, but I'm guessing you put a comment in and it's gone. Apologies. I haven't missed it. Something's happened. It's disappeared. Mackinnish says, agree, Tanner was rusty, but still posed a threat. I just think he's been thrown in the deep end again. And, you know, he probably wants to be involved. He wants to be playing, doesn't he? Yeah. But, you know, let's be fair. He's been out for, what's he been out for? Just over 4 months. And to be thrown straight back in the deep end, so to speak, is, you know, it's a big ask, isn't it?
It is, especially when you're thinking, you know, this happened last year and you could see it took him a while to get going. It will take a little bit of time. It's one of those things where if you're winning 3 or 4 lap, right, you can afford to chuck him off 20 minutes, get minutes in his legs and stuff. But I don't know, I just think maybe 1 or 2 games in the 23s, gets 30, 40 minutes in them, build up his match sharpness, then get him involved. It's not his fault or nothing. I mean, it's, again, like we said, he probably wants to be playing every single game. I understand it. And it's a great player to have to come off the bench at the minute when he's getting fitness back, you know. If you're the opposition, you're thinking, bloody hell, they've taken Kellerman and Willock off. Who's coming on? It's like it's Davis, it's Keane Ashford, it's Ollie Tanner. The fullbacks will be thinking, Jesus Christ. But then I just wish he was a bit more fitness in his legs, a bit more match sharpness. But that'll come now, Will.
Yeah, no, I agree. Gavin Callan says, brilliant day out, got home at 7:30 to the Ronda. If Joel scored that chance, it was game over. Yeah. If, buts and maybes, isn't it? Jonathan Mordecai, we need to concentrate better on set plays. Bad enough leaving players unmarked on the edge of the box. Now we conceding from the actual corner. So, obviously, Capaccio should have cleared that. Do you put any fault there on Nathan Trott? Not that we're looking to point fingers and blame anybody, but do you think, me personally, Capaccio should have cleared it, and Nathan Trott's probably not anticipating that ball coming through Capaccio at that front post, is he?
To be fair, I think no one was expecting the ball along the floor. I think they were all expecting him to whip the ball in, and I don't blame Capaccio because he's probably thinking that ball's getting whipped in, jump for the header, and as he jumps, he probably just realises it's gone low and it's gone under his feet, and it's beaten everyone. I don't think you could blame him. I think we were probably a bit too focused on shithousery for the corner and not focused on defending it properly, maybe. we were too wound up trying to wind their striker up or stuff like that. But like, it's one of those goals where it's a freak goal, let's be honest. And Wycombe, we've used to have Joe Jacobson who used to do it all the time. So it's not something new for them either.
Jonathan says, Sammy Brooke, most recent link, but BBM denied any interest in his press conference after the game. Leicester City product is he, I think, currently on loan at Newport.
Yeah.
Oh, he's left Newport now. I mean, I think, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but that's a name that has been floating around, but BBM has obviously denied that today.
Again, you can't really look much into it because, again, if he comes out and says, we're interested, one, it's going to let his club know that we look at another player and they're going to go, well, let's slap an extra couple of zeros on the price tag. Newport probably then going to be going, well, hang on, we want to keep him on loan. No, we'll cover more of his wages. So, again, you don't want to say anything. You just keep it quiet behind the scenes. And you don't want to alert other teams. Because if other teams looking at what he's doing here now, and they're probably going, well, if Cardiff looking at that player, we should look at him as well now, man.
Yeah.
So I totally get what he's on.
He's quite shrewd, isn't he, BBM, in fairness. You don't like to give much away, in fairness, which I think is a good attribute to have, really.
Yeah, it's a bit gutting because back in the day, you used to get all the information on the side. Cardiff had made inquiries about player X, Y, and Z, and now it seems to be a bit quieter now. And I suppose that's better for us in the long run, though, really. It's a bit more professional as well nowadays, so...
Jama, good evening, buddy. Other results keep going in Cardiff's favour. It's not all doom and gloom, and they're now used to being top. It's next season, if promoted, that will be the big change or upheaval of the squad. And I think that'll be looked at through January now with any transfers coming in, especially, if they're money transfers. I don't see us going out and spending millions in the transfer window. I would imagine we'll rely on, maybe possibly 2 or 3 loans. I think we've talked about this before, and we obviously, with any players coming in now, if they were to come in for, a fee, then they've got to be looking at, are they going to be able to play in the Championship next year? Because at the end of the day, that's where we want to be in it.
Yeah. And I don't think we'll see much big changes if we do get promoted. I think, and I've seen a few people say, will we struggle in the Championship and stuff? I don't think we will see. I think we're suited for the Championship, this side is. I think we do lose a few more games. I think because, we give teams too many opportunities to score past us. When some teams have not taken them chances when they've given them to them. I think a few more teams will punish us. However, in the Championship, I think teams don't set out to make a draw against us. They don't chuck 5 men behind the ball and try to see a game out. Teams will try and play against us in the Championship, like the Chelsea game. And we will dominate the ball. We'll find space a lot easier. We'll move the ball a lot quicker. I think we'll have a better time in the Championship and be more effective. I just say the one we've got to keep for me is BBM. Yeah. So I have no issues with us going to the Championship. I don't think we need a big overhaul. It will be loan players probably this month. If we do sign someone, it'll probably be... I don't know. I can't see us spending money from also. We don't need to spend money, really.
No. Antonio says, Cardiff showed real maturity today, especially in how they controlled the tempo away from home. Do you think that game management is a sign that this squad is starting to believe in what the managers way? I think they've adopted that pretty well for the whole season, to be honest. That never give in attitude has always been there since BBM's come in, really. You look back at Stevenage in the week, another late goal to, pinch that game. I think that never give in attitude has always been there since BBM's been there, in my opinion.
I think the biggest difference for me, I think today, with regards to tempo, is last year, if a team slowed the tempo down against us, we'd adapt to play the slow tempo. Today Wycombe started slowing the tempo down a bit, and they had a 5-minute spell of dominance. Then we grew back into the game, and then we picked the tempo up again. We made them play at our tempo. We stamped our authority on the game then. Well, last year, we'd have just gone along with however the opposition wanted to play, if that makes sense. Like, I think it was Hull last year at home. They slowed the tempo right down. Then we just matched it. We didn't try and up the tempo. I think we matched it. Today, we went, nah. We'll play our game now. We got on the ball again, started making the moves off the ball, passing a quick up a pace. And I think we stamped our authority on the game then. I think that's the difference. The players now are not.
I think this was leading on from the last question. Obviously, it was a tough away environment. How important was Cardiff's mentality in getting through that game? I want to go back to an example you used earlier about Ryan Wintle tracking back and kind of trapped the attacker, didn't he? And Lola come in and took the ball clean off him. And I just think we got that work ethic and they're all busting a gut for each other. I think we haven't seen that probably over the last couple of seasons under the previous managers. And I just think we've got a really close-knit team there. And they're all busting a gut for each other. And, you know, whether it's the first minute or the 95th minute, you know, they keep going till that whistle's gone.
Yeah, again, you know, every man running back, tracking back, putting the effort in. Again, it's great to see. And like you said, the last few years has been, I don't want to say disharmony, but we've heard stories come up the club about certain things go on, should we say, that doesn't show team cohesion. But it looks like they really are fighting for each other now, rather than fighting with each other like last year.
Yeah. Markinish says, I can't believe Wycombe have Bradley Fink, ex-Basel striker, and he didn't start for them. Come off the bench, didn't he? Evan James says, situation for you both. Where would we finish in the championship if our average performance was like today? Honest ratings.
I say playoffs. I just think teams won't sit back like they did like today. They won't go defensive. Teams will try and play football against us, and they'll leave space in behind. There'll be space we can operate in, like the Chelsea game. The reason Chelsea beat us was because they had £200 million worth of quality to come off the bench. Championship teams don't have £200 million worth of quality coming off the bench. So we will dominate games in the championship, I think, if we play this way. So I think we'll be all right. I just think we spend most of our time now in League One trying to break teams down and figure out how to break teams down. In the Championship, we won't have to do that. Teams will leave opportunities for you. So I think we'll be a playoff team. I mean, I've seen some of the Championship games this season. Some are poor. I think, you know, Bristol City aren't that exciting. They do well. Millwall aren't that great. They grind up results. I think if they can get the playoffs, we should be looking at that ourselves.
I think it'd be interesting to see how our young players would cope going up into the Championship. I think they've done a fantastic job for us so far in League One. I think obviously the step up again then to the Championship would be a test for them. But I have full confidence again. Maybe not as confident as you are finishing the playoffs, but I'd say top half of the table. I would go top 10, should we say?
Again, it's something like Wrexham can get into it. Something like Millwall can be in the playoffs. Bristol City last year. I have full confidence. Again, don't forget, it won't be this team right now. Will be this team with another 6 months' experience behind themselves, and that experience of leading the pack, grinding out results to stay atop, the momentum. I think this team could get playoffs.
Here's a random question for you then, right? Before we go back to the chat. Do you think it matters if we get promoted as champions, or would you be just as happy going up as second place?
No. If it's in the Championship, second place is fine. If you're in League One, I think champions is the goal. I think it's a funny one because I think if you're champions, it's a different kind of pressure. And I think the players will learn more from that kind of pressure rather than settling for second. And you want to win. You want to win titles. You want to win the leagues. You know, you want to set break records. So I want us to smash the league, go up as champions. I mean, I seen us years ago go up as playoff winners in this division. I was there for that game, and that was one of the worst 117 minutes of my life until Campbell scored. So I much rather go up as champions and enjoy watching the playoffs, knowing we're already promoted and the Jacks are going down. So
you must have still been shitting green in 2005, but was you?
I was in my teenage years.
How old was you then?
I was born in 91.
Jesus Christ.
Honestly, was it 2003 when playoffs? I think it was, somewhere. But I would have been 12. It was like 12. Yeah, I think it was about 12. But yeah, worst 117 minutes of my life. I mean, we didn't look like scoring all game. And then Campbell comes on here and he goes off. I'm back and you are panicking, and you are sweating, thinking, "Oh Christ, what are we doing now?" And to be fair, he scores one goal. So yeah, I'd much rather go as champions.
What happened to Turnout? Genuine question.
I think it's still ongoing. I think if fans still want him out. I think while the football's good though, people are more focused on that.
Taking a backward, it's taking a seat in the background now, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah, I think while people have got something to smile about and be happy about, this is what he probably would have wanted. Something like this to happen so he can be quietly in the background. And again, it's one of those. Long as it doesn't rock the boat, I think this season can go on without a hitch. I know there's plans of him wanting to come to a game this year. Do you really want to do that? Because let's be honest, if you do go to a game, all the attention is going to be on how the fans react, what it's like, what happens to him. And that's to be the story. And I just think just stay in the background, stay quiet, let the players have their moment. Let's just get promoted.
Yeah,
if you want to sell during the summer, there's no need to make a noise now.
Robertson was everywhere when he was on, seemed to really have his buzz back. He was involved in everything, but he got pulled and we lost that spark as soon as he left the pitch. I'd agree with that, mate, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought he looked back to his best, to be fair. Full of energy as well.
Antonio says, Matt and Reece, can you even read my comments? I have read out a couple, Antonio. As long as they're related to the football and what we're talking about, buddy, I will put them up on the screen. If not, I won't put them up. But thank you for getting involved. I do appreciate it. Thoughts on the team being booed off the park today? Top of the league, didn't lose, very harsh, I think. What, our away fans booed our team, Howell? Obviously, I wasn't there today. So, yeah, if you can confirm that, if that's the case, that's a bit naughty, isn't it? I don't agree. Again,
I hope that's not the case. I hope it's a case of they booing the referee, maybe. Or, I don't know, booing the Wycombe. I don't know. I hope they were booing our players, but that's a bit wild if they were. Again, you're upset not to get a win there, but to boo them, I think that's a bit harsh, Alice, really, let's be honest.
Yeah. Jonathan says, Tanner done more than Ashford when he came on. I thought Tanner looked quite lively, set Robinson up twice and Salek once.
Yeah, I think the ball didn't really go on the right-hand side much, did it? I mean, when it did go on the right-hand side, Ashford was passing back to Capaccio, then knocked it centrally to go wide left again. So I don't think it was too much a case of Ashford didn't have a big impact. I just think he didn't see much of the ball. Which is a bit, disappointing because you want to get something on the ball and running at defenders.
I know this is something you mentioned earlier. Wingers getting caught offside lately should never happen. They have the best view.
Yeah, I think that's Tanner, that isn't it? I think that's the case of that's the match sharp. That's what we're looking at. It's the timing and reading the run and stuff. I think that'll come, but it disappointed us all.
We don't need another striker. We got Simic and Atete back, lol. Don't start loaning it off. She'll be spitting feathers now down in West Wales.
Atete, it hasn't worked out. It's just one of those that haven't worked out. That's all we can say, really.
Yeah. Vincent, good evening. Happy New Year, buddy. What I could see, we did well. A few missed chances. I think I need to be more effective putting the ball in the net. 100%, mate. I thought Simic was gone. Graham says Macinish. I believe he's out on loan, isn't he?
Yeah, out on loan. He's out on loan. Darlan's out on loan. Maybe there's something we can sell him on in January and maybe use some of the money to strengthen other areas if we need to.
Yeah.
But, you're hoping that I think it's an option to buy. I think it is. It's not. They have to buy him. I think it's an option to buy. Hopefully they take up the offer, because the Simic one is yet another one in a long list of strange transfers we made as a club.
Is that the same with Jesper Darland as well?
Probably. Most of these loans have these options to buy now. But again, it's just a strange. The Simic one is another strange one because again he plays for was it Bullet was there? Reza was there, Rambo, none of them played him. I mean, BBM must have seen something and gone, no, thank you. It's a strange signing. And when, I think, was it Bowley was asked about it, and he said the club has got a plan, and the club are operating on their plan. So it doesn't matter if the manager wants him or not. It's the club's plan. And I'm thinking, it's a bit wild, really. There's too many of them happening.
I quite like the look. Obviously, we've seen a couple of the under-21s games and things throughout the season. I quite like the look of that Luke Pearce. Obviously, he hasn't had much of a run in the first team, but again, only a youngster. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him have a run, but who knows? Who knows?
But that's the thing, though. When you look at our forward options, you could easily put Isaac Davis to the middle, Callum Robson through the middle, Ashford to the middle if need to be. It's not like last season where we were putting Ruben Caldwell as a target man. Do you mean? And it wasn't working. Now you've got options. You can put people up top. So it's not a case of we need Simic or Atete, really. We've got players there now who can play the role.
Yeah. I haven't heard of this name. I don't know if you have. Could City sign Kane Vidmar in January, as his uncle was there for Xmas? Aurelio Vidmar.
Well, his dad is Tony Vidmar, if I'm correct. He's born in Cardiff as well, he is. That boy is. Australian international, ex-Cardiff. His dad was ex-Cardiff.
Yeah, I know his dad.
I don't know if we sign him. Again, I just think we need to cover for left back just to give Bacon a rest now and again. Maybe another. It's a tough one. Do we need a striker or do we need pace out wide? We have such a strong squad now. It's hard to see what the manager's looking at doing. Do you mean?
I don't think he'll bring in 1-2 maybe, but I don't think we need massive amounts through the door. If I'm completely honest, I think the squad we got now is working. We've been quite fortunate with injuries. Have probably cursed us now tonight, but at the moment, I think we're looking decent, to be fair, and I don't think we need to bring players in for the sake of bringing players in. As I know we'd like to get a couple of more goals, but it's nice this season now we're having goals from all over the pitch. We're not just relying on one person to hit the back of the net.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a strange transfer window this is for us, because normally we go into transfer windows, go in, we need a strength, and we need 4 or 5 players in badly now. This one, I'll be happy if we just don't sell anyone. If we keep our line, again, if like a Horvath leave, unfortunately, if Jack Anlick leaves, if the fringe players like a Tete or someone leaves, you're not going to be like too disheartened. If you're losing like your Rubens, your Dylan Lawlers, your Joe Wells, if something like that goes in, it's disappointment. So I just tell him, baby, I'm 24 off. Well, you say that, it's not up to him if we goes now, is it? No. The club see the money signs.
That's it. Halftime Oranges says, it seems great squad camaraderie this season. Wonder if that'll play into any player who receives a bid. Stay, win and have fun, or risk warming the bench for a season or two elsewhere. I think especially the younger players like Dylan, I think probably that will play a part in it. He's probably, he wants to play as much football as he can. And I think BBM said obviously they can guarantee him first team football. I know it's League One, but obviously next year, the Championship, fingers crossed. But until that offer comes through, it's all speculation, isn't it?
I'm a fan first and foremost, so for me, I can't think of everyone to leave Cardiff. However, as a footballer, again, if Bayern Munich come in now, one is a chance to be at one of the biggest clubs in the world, and you're probably thinking my development would skyrocket compared to staying at Cardiff. I could play another 6 months at Cardiff, and my trajectory will go up there. I go to Bayern Munich, learn from Vincent, I'm up there all of a sudden. I'll earn more money in a year with them. That'll set me up for life. And, it's going to be great exposure, and probably my Welsh career might look better. So I can understand if he does go. I hope he doesn't. I hope the club say, look, stay with us for a year and a half, see where we are.
Signed for Bayern Munich, but loan straight back.
Well, again, you as a fan, if you do sell him, you don't want him going to Bayern Munich. You want him going to something like Borussia Dortmund. If you go to a Bayern Munich, there's no club after that to go to, if that makes sense. If you go to a Borussia Dortmund, you slap a 25% sell-on clause on. He does go to a Bayern Munich after that. You get the money back. But if he goes to a bigger clubs, the top end straight away, the only clubs bigger than Bayern really up after that is going to be like some Man City or PSG or Madrid. I mean, there's no other pathway after that then. So you kind of lose your sell-on fee, do. So you're hoping if he does go, it'll be to a club that's not quite at the elite level, the very, very top yet.
Jammer says, BBM will be headhunted. I hope he stays longer, though, but that's the world of football, and sometimes it's a cruel world. Just hope he stays another season and sees it through.
Yeah, that will happen. Someone will come in for him. He will go and end up at the top. You can see that. It's the way he plays football. I mean, look at Liam Rosania now. Went from Hull, sacked to Hull because he wouldn't drop Ryan Allsop, which Cardiff fans got told him he should have done it anyway, but he got sacked. He ends up going to Strasbourg, and now he's in line for the Chelsea job. So it could happen with us, we could leave us, go somewhere else, and then bang, at one of the bigger clubs. The only thing we can hope for, right, is the coaches he's working with learn from him. And if he goes, we can say to one of them coaches, look, do you want to take the job? Leroy, do you want to have a crack at the job? Your philosophy's the same. You see the game the same way. But yeah, I'd love him to stay in BBM. I'd be devastated when he goes.
Graham says, do we need a director of football? We were crying out for before the season started.
I think we need someone between the manager and the ownership. I do believe that. Because let's be honest, again, from the outside, it looks like a train wreck. We don't know who BBM has to talk to. We've got a chairman I don't think anyone's seen or heard from now in about a year. We've got a CEO, I think, who's busy trying to sell cars in the car park. I mean, let's be honest, I don't know who BBM turns to when he needs transfers or something done. But then on the other hand, if you do have someone go between, I hope they don't have final say on who comes in and who goes out. I think you've shown with BBM that he's earned the right to have a say who goes in and who goes out.
Half-time oranges, I think, going back to Howell's question, was booing the ref. Howell also answers it, saying, I'm sure some booed the players. As soon as the final whistle went, Anti-Mag thinks it may have been directed at the ref. If so, stand corrected. It's a difficult one, though, isn't it? Because, I think we've discussed this before. Even if you do boo the ref, the players could very well think you're booing them.
Problem is, as well, she's a crowd mentality, innit? Some people start booing, others join in the booing. And again, you don't know, at that point, you don't know who they're booing at. But again, it's hopefully saved the ref, not the players. I don't think any of them deserve that today.
Yeah. This is a great question from Howell. Do you think with us being top for so long, we as fans expect us to win every game? Great question this is, because I think, when we don't win, we're the first ones then to be negative, and we're all looking for the negatives rather than focus on the positives. And that's just, I suppose that's a natural thing, but I just think as Cardiff fans, we're probably renowned for it really, or whatever the saying is. I think sometimes we can focus on the negatives and not look to too many positives. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I'm a Cardiff fan. I mean, let's be honest, we could win the league of record points, right? The FA would go, you spelled Joel's name wrong on the registration form. We'd dock you 110 points. As a Cardiff fan, everything that can go wrong for us goes wrong for us. We've been in the playoffs looking like we're going to go up against Blackpool. It doesn't go away. We get Portsmouth in the FA Cup final. We get a goal against us. We take Liverpool penalties, it goes against us. As Cardiff fans now, anything that could go wrong usually does go wrong for us. So I think as fans, when we don't win a game, we get nervous, and then we start panicking a bit. And I do think, as a fan, I want us to win every game. I don't expect us to win every game, but I think we should be looking to win as much every game. I think they all do, but I don't know. We do. I think we do go over the top sometimes when we lose. But again, with Cardiff fans, we just expect something to go wrong to me. So,
do you think BBM has a transfer clause more than a player?
I think come the summer he will do. I think come the summer there'll be a new contract offered to him, and there will be a massive slap on there saying, if a bigger club comes in for you, we want this much money, stuff like that.
Yeah. Jonathan goes to say then, if BBM goes, his staff go with him, unfortunately. He put his team together from his time at Rochdale. He has people he trusts and they stand by him.
They do. However, every coach wouldn't mind a crack at the main job. And if you say to his number two or one of his assistants, how would you like the main job now? They might take it. And then if they have the same philosophy, it might not work out. But it's always that. It's always that.
Jammer asks, is the rumour mill coming back this window? We shall message the boss man as soon as we finish the podcast this evening, mate, and say that it's been requested. So keep your eyes out for it. Gavin Kellan says, Tanner didn't look right. He changed his boots 5 minutes after he came on. Must have been something wrong. He still isn't 100% yet, though. Hope he gets back into it soon. Yeah, I think we covered that bit a little bit earlier. Before we finish, then, let's just dive in and talk about, I know we've obviously discussed quite a few of the players today, but how do you think Perry NG done at left back today? Obviously, give Joel Bagan a rest. What was your opinion on NG at left back today?
It looks natural, didn't he? At a full back. Again, we've seen the best of Perry again. I think he went missing last year quite a bit. I think he's back to his best now. And, you can play centre half, you can play right back, left back, anywhere across the back line. We've seen him go into midfield a few times. And he's a backup keeper and he's very versatile. So, but yeah, I thought he was standing today. I
think you know what you're getting with him as long as his head's in the right place.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting with him when he crosses our line and he's got that shirt on. I love him as a player. Obviously, he went to a bit of a tricky patch and there was rumours, this, that, and the other. But he's kind of turned all that around and, he's been quite open and honest and, saying how much he's enjoying his time at Cardiff now and it's probably the best period since he's been here, how much he's enjoying it. So, yeah, fair play to him. I thought he was outstanding as well. I think, obviously, you're not expecting him to go up and down the wing. But I thought he put in a solid performance, to be fair.
He's Marmite, isn't he? If he plays for you, you love him. If he plays against you, you just hate it because the shit out and stuff. And sometimes that can distract from him, from his game, I think. But today, he looked natural and comfortable, didn't he? I think he was probably him and Lawler was stand out to me at the back today. That's not overshadowing anyone else. I thought they were just both fantastic. The
other one I wanted to talk about quickly, I know we've talked about his mistake from the corner, but Ronan Capaccio, lots of people saying that he was a bit off the boil today. I think in his defence, Perry's had probably the rub of the green over the last few weeks, and Capaccio's come off the bench, and he's been making a great impact coming off the bench with that pace down that right-hand side. But not quite at the races today, in my opinion. I don't know what you thought.
I think, is it Odinima? I think he targeted that side, didn't he? And he's a smart strike guy. He knows what he's doing. I just think he'll come from experience, that will. No, Capaccio hasn't got experience playing against players like that yet. He will try to, throw himself to the floor with a free kick. Will use the smart, the intelligence and stuff. Again, I don't think he did anything much wrong. I just think he looks brilliant going forward, by the way. I think going forward looks fantastic. Maybe he's a winger in the future. I don't know, I just think today's one of those games you could just drop down to experience, if I'm honest. Didn't think he did much wrong. I don't think he stood out as much as he has done in previous games, but we can't expect him to have an 8 or 10 every game. That's a problem.
Yeah. Anybody else stand out for you today that he was impressed with, mate?
I thought Osho was good for 60 minutes. I thought this is a good player now. He looked energetic. He looked like his fitness was there. His reading was well. Stuck in. The only thing was after 60 minutes, I don't know if it was just tiredness or what, but I think he slow with the ball, lose it, and then he gives it. The keeper's off his line when Trot was causes a problem. Recovers the ball well though, and then we're looking at a foul, I think, on NG, and he just stops. The ref hasn't blown his whistle. You're thinking, don't just play to the whistle, clear your lines, and if the ref blows, he blows. He stops. I think maybe that's the tiredness coming in. But I thought from the performances we've had so far this season, it was a shadow. They've been a shadow of what we can expect, and I thought today was a different player. Chambers looks brilliant when he came on to me again, to be fair. Will Luck, for me, man of the match. I thought he was outstanding. Kellerman, another great performance. Robinson, unlucky not to score. I thought he picks up the ball well. He finds runs, finds pockets of space. I thought they were, again, like I said earlier, I think each of them, they're all brilliant today, to be fair to him.
I think with Robinson's, it felt awkward to him, didn't it, on his left foot, I think it was. And 9 times out of 10, he's barely in that, isn't he? He's that type of striker to get in those positions and put the ball away. But, he had a chance. I think Sarek nodded a header down to David Turnbull and he couldn't get the ball away from his feet. I think Salek had a couple of headers as well.
Yeah.
I think Turnbull had another diving header that there was chances. Callum Chambers had that curling effort towards the end. So there was plenty of chances out there. Just like you said, we weren't clinical enough to get it over the line. But onwards and upwards, mate. We're still top of the league, and we move on to Wigan on Sunday. How do you see that one going? Where are Wigan in the league at the moment?
Well, we beat them 2-0, didn't we, away from home, but we dominated them, I think, that game. And again, I always expect us to win every game at home. I think second half, attacking towards the cant done. I just think it gives the players a lift. I think it does. I think you see it. We have a poor first half. A second half, when you're attacking against the cant done, the players go up for it. So I fully expect us to give Wigan a good go. A few players will be back. I think Isaac Davis has been rested. I think Robertson. You can see Alex Robertson's been rested, so to speak, because he had 20 minutes today. Just the yellow card. He should be fresh for the game. Joe Bagan should be fresh. I expect us to come home on Sunday and put Wigan to the sword. 3-0 win I'm going for. But I won't be surprised if you get a 4-0 win.
I'm going 4-0, I think. 4-0. What was I checking then? So Wigan actually drew with Barnsley today, 1-0 at Wigan. So they're currently 14th in the division at the moment. But like I said, that between Mansfield, who are in 9th position, they got 32 points. You can go all the way down to Plymouth Argyle, who have got 27 points and they're in 21st position. So the gap between 9th and 21st is 5 points, which is bonkers. Like I said, you pick up a couple of wins and it's potentially changing your season, isn't it?
This division is wild. I mean, how often we've said it, look at Stevenage, right? They dropped out to the playoffs. They could lose. They could win the 2 games in hand, I think, and they go third. And they're at the play again. It's just this league. I think Port Vale won today, 5-1 against Blackpool. They're 9 points from safety. They can win the next 4 games and about that relegation zone. Again, 2 or 3 games on a bounce, a massive swing in this league. Oh, and this league, everyone's beaten everyone. Apart from teams beating us.
I've seen a comment the other day, I think it was this morning. Luton are in 8th position and they're closer to the team at the bottom of the league or in the relegation zone than they are to Cardiff City, who are at top of the league, which is mad when you're in 8th position. So there's a question there from Graham. Any news on Ruben? I think we're still looking at the end of February, beginning of March, mate. And again, I think he's going to need to be managed back in. It'd be similar to Tanner, I would have thought. He'll have a couple of appearances off the bench.
Walking without the boot on, wouldn't he?
What's that?
Walking around without the boot on. So yeah, probably a couple of weeks now, and then he'll be on the training pitch, and then it'll just be a case of very light training, no tackle, no contact.
It's not a training pitch. Reece is back on the grass.
Back on the grass. It's one of those, right, where we've seen it with other players. They might take him until that first heavy tackle to go, right, my leg's fine, my Achilles is fine.
Yeah, there was a tackle today that I thought Tanner could have gone in for, but you could see kind of we're not shied away from it, but you would have thought just get into it. Like
once he faces that first heavy tackle and realizes his leg is fine, he'll be fine anyway. I think player, even with all players, they can say, we're fine anyway. But psychologically, you see it to the best. They wait until that first heavy tackle comes in and bang, and then they kick on.
Yeah, we with you, Dave. We'd take a 1-0 win if we had to. But let's hope for some goals. It's great that Tanner's back. I think, like we've said, he's still not quite there, but obviously BBM will manage him now with, 10, 15, 20 minutes here and there. And hopefully we'll get him back fully fit before the end of the season. Jay Wood should smash Wigan. Kellyman in the 10, hopefully.
Agree with that.
Did you say earlier you prefer him in the 10 rather than out on the wing?
Yeah, I think he looks more dangerous in the 10. I think he has more space to operate in. I think when he goes wide, on the wide, he cuts inside all the time. I think sometimes it's been easy to read, but if you have him in the 10, he's got so much more space to operate in. Was it Doncaster game or the Exeter game? He had 3 players around him, and he glided past him like they weren't even there.
Yeah.
He's just so comfortable with the ball, his feet running at defenders. I put him in the 10. I think Isaac one wing, Willock got even, Kean Ashford the other wing. You got pace then, and you got bit of directness, and he got him on the 10. I think that's deadly, that is.
Yeah, no, I agree. Jonathan says, Kellyman keeps improving the way he has. Ruben might struggle to get back in by the time he's fit.
Good. That's
what we want. You want that strength and depth, I suppose. And
it forces Ruben in to up his game of training and push himself even more. And again, when you've got 2 class players that are competing against each other, then it just benefits us, it does.
Yeah. Graham says, don't think we have the time to smash anyone. Takes so long to cross. Jonathan says, I think Kellyman in the 10 finds more space and drags people to him when he has the ball, creating space for others. Spot on, like Chris just said as well.
And again, when he defended, he picked the ball up in own half, and he got Isaac Davis making a run, or Kapaka making a run with that pace. And he got a player like Kellyman on the ball. He's going to spot that, and I think he can put up, we can ping the ball into him. And yeah, I prefer Kellyman in the 10. I just think he's a lot better.
Yeah, I'd agree. Right, guys, we're going to wrap up in the next minute or so. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. If there's anybody who's tuned in for the first time tonight, thank you. Much appreciated. You can subscribe to Cardiff City World. You can scan the QR code in the top corner of the screen, or you can also follow the information on the Cardiff City World YouTube channel. For the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can help support the channel, which helps side to keep producing content 24/7, 7 days a week rather. It'd be a bit much to do it 24/7, I think, but he's a bit of a battle axe anyway, isn't he? But
yeah.
No, obviously any support you can give. We've got a big army of supporters and members. The WhatsApp group is bonkers. Be interesting to count the amount of messages that come through there every day, really, but it's got to be into the hundreds, hasn't it?
Yeah, to be fair.
Without shadow of doubt. But we appreciate all your support. So if you've got anything else, last couple of minutes, fire it in the chat. If not, we will love you and leave you. And we'll go from there. Jonathan says we will smash Plymouth again. I'm hopefully going to get tickets for that one. I haven't been to an away game yet this season because my boy plays football now on a Saturday. So I am going to struggle to get tickets because they'll go like hotcakes. So if anybody has got fan IDs and they're not going to go to Plymouth and wouldn't mind me having 2 tickets, please let me know. And sort you out. Jonathan says we also haven't played Barnsley yet, and their defence is shocking.
They start there to be though, and as you know, there to be has been a weakness this season.
Somebody tuning in, a Grimsby fan. Thank you very much for tuning in, my friend.
Welcome.
Jonathan Mordecai says hundreds. That's just me, isn't it? What was that related to?
The WhatsApp group of takers, eh?
Oh, yeah. Singing about Yusuf Saleh, you and Adam, and his back and forth, like 12-year-old kids. But we love it, really. But, Reece, thank you very much. Hope you've had a good New Year's Day, my friend.
And yourself.
Everybody in the chat, thank you very much for your contribution through tonight's show. Much appreciated. Myself and Reece will probably be back Sunday evening, mate. To do
Sunday after
that game. I know Sai's got some other things planned between now and Sunday, so keep an eye out on the channel for that. But you'll see my ugly mug and Reece and his beanie hat on Sunday. If you do see us at the ground on the weekend, come and say hello. But if you see Reece, make sure you tell him what your name is, because he has a panic afterwards. Otherwise,
it's been awkward because again, I'm still not used to people saying they listen to the stuff, so I never know what to say to people. So I just say, oh, thank you. And that's it. I don't know what to say yet. So I don't know if it comes across as rude, but I just never know what to say to people. I have no idea who anyone is because I just see a letter or the name there. So I have never a clue who anyone is.
You've got to put a name tag on. If you're going to approach Reece on the weekend, make sure you've got a name tag.
Yeah, exactly.
But, peace out. Up the city. We're still top of the league. Roll on Sunday. Wigan home. We'll start. Oh, I pressed the wrong button.
Can't finish.
This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the Spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans for fans. Balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.